this right here it runs, the religion part runs very, very deeply for me. Because I was a sexual abuse survivor as a child. And so I didn't really feel the covering and the protection of a father or of God. And so I met a man who was Muslim. I converted to Islam. I converted back to Christianity. I converted to Rastafarianism. I converted back to Christianity. All of these religions had different things that they told women. That in the Bible it said that women could not divorce their husbands, that we were bound until they died. In the Quran, some people read it to say that a man can beat his wife. And so this one is called, But I Guarded My Heart. Because the verse that I held on to is, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. But all these things were coming out of my heart. Even though I was guarding it, I was questioning, where is God in this? Who is God in this? Is he alive? Is he Christ? Is he Jah? Who is he? And so it's like, well, but I guarded my heart. But this is what I got. This one is called Pussy Melon Felon. Yeah. There was a poem to this. I actually did this while I was at Cheney. And it's just like, I guess, Frida Kahlo-ish, surrealist representation of losing something that's precious and innocent to you. Losing your virginity to someone who has taken it. So it's this fire that's burning and boiling everything that's coming out of this beautiful vagina that was once pristine and put together for something special, but it was taken. This is my lovely Umi. When she was 17 years old, also a survivor of sexual abuse. And so I reverence her by calling her Umi because in Islam, the mother is before everything 3 times. They say, you know, who do you put after God? They say, your mother. Well, who's after that? Your mother. Well, who's then after that? Your mother. And then what? Then your father. So this is my Umi, and I reverence her by calling her Umi. This is Nina Simone. A lot of people don't know that she's also a survivor. If you watch her documentary, she was abused by her husband, who was also the producer of her music. I didn't know that, but during the time that I was in my relationship, when I started to realize that abuse was a cycle, I listened to this song. Because I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. And when I watched the documentary, I realized she wrote that out of her pain and suffering and domestic violence. So I'm like, I feel like I kind of was connecting with her, although she's no longer here with us. There was something in that song that drew me to her. There was something in that caused me to heal from another woman's story. And that's why platforms like this are important. And thank you again to all the women who are here and who shared and who didn't share but wanted to share. This one I've not talked about yet. This situation I haven't talked much about, but I'm going to share it just in case someone else might get free or heal from it. In my marriage, I was married. I was having a baby, and I lost it due to domestic violence. And so I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. I didn't know anything about it. But I named her Amina Batul, because Amina means pure, and Batul means virgin. So I like to think of it as, even though she's not here, she was protected. She didn't have to go through the abuse and everything like that. Although she's gone because of it, she's in a better place. And so I call her Amina because she's pure and she'll remain pure. Wow, this one, I didn't name it. But this, it's just a representation. When I was married and I was in Islam, I used to wear a niqab. And I used to wear the niqab not because I thought that it was making me so much closer to God, but to cover the bruises on my face. And this verse here is one that kept me in a cycle of, you know, well, Islam says that you can beat your wife, but Christianity says I can't leave my husband. So both of them are really telling me I have to stay in this. So where do I go and who do I talk to? And so it was the put on the hijab, take the hijab off. Put on the hijab, take the hijab off. This verse is Surah An-Nisa, Ayah 34 in the Quran, and it reads, men are the maintainers, protectors and maintainers of women, because Allah has given one more strength than the other, and because they support them from their means. Therefore the righteous women are devoutly obedient and guard in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. As to those women who you fear disloyalty and ill conduct, admonish them first. Next, refuse to share their beds. And last, beat them lightly. But if they return to obedience, seek not against them means of annoyance, for Allah is most high, great above you all. That was hard for me to swallow. And so that leaves me here. This is my favorite verse. This is one that has carried me through. I have it tattooed on my back. You know, despite things that are in the Bible, that are in the Quran, that contradict, I said, this is going to be the thing that I hold on to, because God said, daughter. Somebody said, daughter. Somebody said, I'm protecting you, regardless of whatever name it was. It said, daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. And it gave me permission to say, regardless of what Mark said, Luke said, Peter said, Muhammad said, this is what I'm going to do. And so I did. This is Nabi. I think that she left. This is a quote from one of her songs. I was made to fly, you just can't see my wings. And that's another piece that stuck with me. I'm thinking, you know, all this time I've had all this artwork sitting in my apartment, sitting up behind my dresser. It's not been anywhere. And I went to one of her shows, and her song said, I was made to fly, you just can't see my wings. And I'm like, well, why am I tying them behind my bed? Let me get them out. Let me see what I can do. It's time to fly. And that's Nabi. This piece here is a Sankofa. Sankofa in the African diaspora means return and retrieve it, right? And so I said, well, what does that mean for black women? I return and I retrieve my womanhood. I'm not going to be seen as, okay, well, you know, you're in this relationship, you're a black woman, why don't you just beat them up? I don't understand. This is a thing for white women. But it's not. This is a thing that is a transgenerational traumatic theme for us. And a lot of us, a society likes to see us as being strong and able to just get out of it. But what about my womanhood? What about my humanity? Sometimes I'm not that strong, even though we're supposed to look like it and it's supposed to be. So I decided I'm going to turn around and retrieve that womanhood, that innocence that is often not seen in black women. Did you have a question?
I do. This symbol, what is that? Like,
oh, this symbol, this is the, no, this is the woman symbol, you know, like you see the thing.
You have a picture in there.
Oh, this is the Dawafe. Oh, thank you. This is the Dawafe. It is the Adinkra symbol from Ghana that means femininity and cleanliness. So I often see it tied in with the women's symbol that we use, you know, internationally. This is the Adinkra symbol from Ghana that means feminine. Did anybody else have any questions? I feel like I'm talking a lot. Okay. So this is, we don't know what Aisha looked like, but this is a depiction of Muhammad's wife, Aisha, one of his wives. And in the hadiths or the sayings of people who were held honorable in Islamic times, she stated, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. So she hadn't seen anyone suffering as much as the Muslim women in that time, probably because of what we're talking about here. Yeah. This is another depiction of Amina Batul. I don't really know what to say about it. The calla lily, you know, when someone passes away, they have calla lilies that symbolize growth and death and everything. The open space is like, you know, the emptiness, I guess, that I felt, and constantly feeling like I should be replacing that feeling with another child or something. So it kind of makes me sad. This one right here is called Rising Muslima. And I still take a lot of the teachings from what I learned in Islam. This is ZahRe in Arabic. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and Assalamu alaikum. It's just kind of symbolizing the traumatic events that happen that I'm pouring out into my heart in allowing myself not to be diminished by them, but to grow from them. And so therefore there's the flowers there. These two are more broad. They're not necessarily about me, but they are about me. They're pieces that I had when I was married. Some Muslim people believe that you're not allowed to have paintings. You're not allowed to have any depictions in your home, or else the angels will not come to your house. And so I lost them. These are not the original paintings. They were thrown out, not by me. And I had slides of them, and I decided to go get them recreated. So I call them the lost pieces. And this is to represent Sapphire and Jezebel, two of the stereotypes that black women are also often found as having. Society may believe us to be promiscuous. You know, if you've been sexually abused, you wanted it, you deserved it. One example might be like when you go to a museum, you'll see Caucasian women that are naked and it's considered beautiful. But if you see something that's depicted of a black woman that's supposed to be artwork is beautiful, it's considered sexual. So these are a representation of what society is seeing of us. And I also have some African fabric. It was African fabric when I made it that I sewed in to represent the diaspora. This is a depiction of myself. That's pretty much it. That's how I was feeling that day. Blue Belle. This is a piece that I made for my future husband, have not yet met. Where you see the phallic symbol connected to a heart. And, you know, when it ejaculates, it will put out love instead of a physical manifestation of, I guess, control and all that type of stuff. This is a depiction of this, you know, kind of myself, and just describing things that enter the body are connected with the heart, whether it be something that's traumatic or something that is meant for the good. It all goes into your heart and back to that piece there and what was in my heart. I think there's like 3 pieces in there. I don't know if you want to go in there.
It's up to you.
Okay, keep looking around. There's like 3, and then I'll let you go.
I just want to know when you will put a plate of me on the wall. In my section, right?